Hi everyone, it's Injustice is Real. Did you all see the sarcastic letter Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan wrote to the Senate President Akpabio? I promised some updates, so I am bringing you the updates. I particularly like this letter because it's a brilliant letter. Well, in my opinion, because her letter exposes major human rights and governance issues through heavy sarcasm. It was subtle sarcasm, but hit the nail on things that go on in Nigeria. The letter is on the screen, but let me read it to you. Dear distinguished Senate President Godswill Akpabio, it is with the deepest sarcasm and utmost theatrical regret that I tender this apology for the grievous crime of possessing dignity and self-respect in your most exalted presence. I have reflected extensively on my unforgivable failure to recognize that legislative success in certain quarters is apparently not earned through merit, but through the ancient art of compliance of the very personal kind. How remiss of me not to understand that my refusal to indulge your request was not merely a personal choice, but a constitutional violation of the unwritten laws of certain men's entitlement. Truly, I must apologize for prioritizing competence over capitulation, vision over vanity, and the people's mandate over private dinners behind closed doors. I now realize the catastrophic consequences of my actions. Legislation delayed, tempers fled, and the tragic bruising of egos so large they require their own postcodes. For this disruption to the natural order of quid pro quo, I bow my head in fictional shame. Please find it in your magnanimous heart, somewhere buried deep beneath layers of entitlement, to forgive this stubborn woman who mistakenly believed that her seat in the Senate was earned through elections, not erections. Ouch, 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 ouch. And she signed off. I remain yours in eternal resistance, Senator Natasha H. Akpoti Uduaghan, unafraid, unbought, and unbroken. Wow. I particularly like this letter because it's actually something I can see myself writing. I can see myself in the letter, but without the end bit. Well, you know what I'm referring to, the end, how the letter ended. But I won't take anything away from the letter. Honestly, I think it's a brilliant letter. Let's break the letter down. I want to talk about some of the human rights issues in her letter. You know, her letter exposes some human rights issues, so let's unpack it. In the beginning of her letter, she says legislative success is apparently not earned through merit, but through the ancient arts of compliance of the very personal kind, meaning that it's not about merit in the Senate. It's not about merit. It's about being able to do personal favors. She's exposing the human rights issues that exist in the Senate. Senator Natasha Akpoti is basically saying that the right to equality before the law and fair representation is abused when merit is replaced by personal favors. And it's true. She's exposing the abuse of power that exists in the Senate. In the second paragraph of her letter, look at the second paragraph. Senator Akpoti Uduaghan says, "My refusal to indulge your request was not merely a personal choice, but a constitutional violation of the unwritten laws of certain men's entitlement." She's saying here that her choice not to give in to Akpabio's advances is seen as a violation of the unspoken rules of what some men consider as their entitlement. She's exposing the sexual harassment and gender-based discrimination. Are you seeing what I'm teasing out of her letter? She's calling out how women in politics and other places are pressurized, harassed, and punished for not submitting to male advances. Meanwhile, Article 2 and 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights talks about freedom from discrimination based on sex. If you like our content, share, subscribe. In paragraph 3 of her letter, she spoke about the toxic political culture in leaders by referring to the egos so large they require their own postcodes. In fact, the human rights issue Senator Uduaghan is pointing out here is the puffed up egos you see in some Nigerian leaders that breeds a collapse in good governance, that violates citizens' rights to be served with humility and integrity. We must speak up about these things. At the end of her letter, she says, "Forgive this stubborn woman who mistakenly believed that her seat in the Senate was earned through elections, not, you know what? She's pretty much saying, forgive me for not going away quietly, believing that I earned my seat through fair and square elections rather than, you know what? Senator Natasha Akpoti is pointing out the violation of her rights to gender equality and non-discrimination according to Articles 2 and 21 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. My people, this could easily be any woman at the workplace experiencing her rights being violated. And this happens a lot in Nigeria. Or what do you think? And many other countries, I agree. This isn't just about one woman, though. It's about all of us. This is not just about political games. It's about gender equality, abuse of power, corruption that we see in Nigeria, and the right to fair representation for all Nigerians. So if you like our content, like, share. Don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns on human rights and justice, because injustice is real. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.